Hey everyone, JavaMentor.net here. Very interesting and important lecture is in front of us, so pay a good attention. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I just have a class person which has describe me method, and describe me method is returning I'm a person and my name is, and then concatenate first name, and my last name is concatenate last name. Student extends person, which means it extends all fields and methods, and it also has describe me method. I'm a student and my name is blah blah blah, and my student's debt is, and then print student's debt. The point is, this student debt is a field specific to the student. Student debt field does not exist in the person class. And then here in the main class, I created one object student. I assigned two variables, two attributes, sorry. I populated attributes. Then I assigned that object to this variable, and this variable is of data type person. This is possible because you remember in data type, in variable of data type person, you can put everything which is person or something that extends person. Student extends person, so that's why this is possible. And then I just wanted to print line to print into the console person.firstname, and to see what this describe me method will print, because describe me method inside person prints only first name and last name, and in student you remember first name but also student's debt, which is specific for student. Before I run this program, obviously this doesn't work because person class does not have student ID, so I couldn't print this student ID or student debt. That's also not possible. So before I start this program, you can try to have your guess what would happen, knowing everything from the previous tutorials, because we run something similar to this. You remember in one of the previous tutorials I told you, if you have a same method like we have now, describe me, in a person and inside of a student, a method inside the more specific class, so in child, will be executed. So in this case, this needs to do something which is inside student, right? But inside student we have student debt, and person doesn't have student debt, so it might be either error or maybe null, because here we converted student to person, so I don't know, what the heck. Let's see, run and trial and error. I'm a student, so we were right. Describe me method of a student was invoked, and my name is spasoje, and my student debt is, and it showed us the correct value. Well, exactly, like this works, like this person really has student debt inside. Well, this is a good case to debug our program, like to see line by line what's happening, right? Okay, put the debugger here, debug, and then we go line by line. So, student, it has student debt 0, first name null, those are default values as we spoke. Also, you can see first name and last name, those are attributes from the person class. Whoops. First name, it has spasoje now, awesome. Student debt, okay, that's populated as well. Now person variable should be created and it should be connected with this student object, right? Okay, let's see what's inside that person. So here you can see the type of the person. Whoa, why it says student here? Isn't this person? Little bit weird, but if you compare those two, even this number is the same. Well, it's the same because they are pointing at the same object, and this is, let's say, ID of the object in the memory. So they're pointing into the same object, which is, I mean, understandable if we take a look at this line. And they're pointing at the object which is of type student. Both student and person variables pointing to the object which is of type student. Now when we know that, rest of the code is straightforward. Student dot first name is known. Student dot describe me, it will just print first name, and student depth. So our conclusion from this is that, well, basically in the runtime, when we run program, this is not magic. There is no magical conversion between student and person so that student fields are deleted or something like that. No, this is the same object. The only difference being is that we cannot use this variable in the same fashion like we can use this variable. I mean, this person, as you saw in the debugger, holds the student ID. This person, it holds the student depth and student ID, but while coding we cannot access it. Of course, there is a brute force killing solution, but you are doing that on your own responsibility. So if you screw up something, it will be your own fault, not Java fault. What we can do is so we said that something like this is not possible now. You cannot put person into the student because this person might be pensioner. You remember, and pensioner and student, they're not extending each other, and I mean they have the same parent, but they are not in direct correlation. But you can say, mate, I'm sure that this is a student and it's not a pensioner. Like, just do that brute force for me. Like, do it, and on my own, if I make a mistake, I will get an error, right? And now we can access that student depth with this newly created variable, right? And this is called casting. We are casting object of type person to the variable of type student. In the next video, let's learn more about special kind of classes called abstract classes, and let's learn about interfaces. See you in the next video.